Hello, everyone. I'm here with Rebecca from Paws Up. Paws Up is a luxury dude ranch, and it's fantastic for anyone that's looking for a national park type experience without the crowds. It provides intimacy, fantastic meals, luxury lodging, and activities galore. Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to be with you all. As Angie said, I am the sales manager at the resort at Paws Up, and I'm very excited to present the resort to you. And I also have a video for you guys just to get things rolling. So whenever you guys are ready, Angie, you can give me the cue.
Sounds awesome. I know we could talk about Paws Up all day long, but the visuals just really inspire you to want to travel to Paws Up. So
Absolutely.
Let's play this video.
Perfect.
You'll never run out of things to do at Paws Up.
That's for sure.
And I think a lot of people don't realize when we talk to them about dude ranches, particularly luxury dude ranches, they don't realize all the water activities that are available. I mean, yes, it's there's lakes and streams throughout the Western region, including places like Montana and Wyoming, but they just don't realize that it's just right there on property, in addition to the hiking and the cabin and the various accommodations that you provide that allows you to experience the outdoors in such a fantastic way.
That is so true. And there's so much to do for every season. So that video definitely highlights, an amazing family experience at Paws Up during a spring and summer season. But there's so much to do in, the winter and the fall. And I will certainly get into that in our presentation that I have prepared for you today.
I'm really excited for you to share your presentation, and you'll have to also share with us. I know you have family-friendly cabins and luxury. I can't even call them tents because they're not really tents. It's really like a hotel room that is canopied, and it's just a fantastic way to travel. But you're also opening up an adult-only section. So I think hopefully that's not part of your presentation. You'll incorporate that as well, because it allows for adults to experience an easy, weekend getaway, extended weekend while the children are away at sleepaway camp. So I think it's important to recognize that as much as you focus on the family, you also provide an opportunity for people to travel as adults without their children.
You couldn't have said it better. And that's why that property was created. Even just to begin with, they wanted to make an experience that was adult only. So the Greeno is 21 plus. And I will have some great photography to share with you guys in the presentation as well. But if you're interested, we do have right here a quick video. Would you mind if I showed you a quick video of the Greeno?
Let's do it.
All right, great.
I love seeing the winter scenery because it reminds me that Paws Up is a property truly for any time of the year. It accommodates each and every season so nicely.
Exactly. That's one of my favorite videos. The Greeno.
Fantastic. So the Greeno is the adult only section. So
that's right.
Tell me how many rooms are available, or villas and accommodations for the Greeno.
Yep. So there are 12 freestanding individual accommodations, and they're all 1 bedroom. So there's 4 different styles of accommodations. There's the roundhouse, the tree house, the lighthouse, and the greenhouse. And there are multiple of each, and they make up 12 individual accommodations. So maximum capacity on property at any given point is 24 guests, which makes it a very intimate, curated experience that's very special and feels very privatized to the guest. So it's opening this summer. It's going to be an absolutely incredible experience for guests throughout every single season, winter, spring, summer, fall. Like you saw, we just had some footage of the winter time, and it's, you know, everybody says Paws Up is so great in the summer because there's so much to do. But when you're sitting in those floor to ceiling glass window houses and you see the winter snow around you, it's like a winter wonderland. It's so magical. So it's going to be really special for every season. So maybe
real quickly, I want to emphasize what you said.
Sure.
24 persons. The Greeno accommodates 24 persons. And I recently overheard another colleague mention, would you rather be one of 24 in this case, or one in, let's say, 500? I think the accommodations that really cater on the personalization and the privatization is an experience that just lends itself to so many other experiences within the experience. You get to know the staff, learn about the staff, as well as you have the opportunity to really receive, you know, more likely than not, meals that are more prepared, specific to your needs, activities that can be rearranged based on your ability and your time commitment and things like that. Those are things that when you're truly less in number, you really get that elevated, customized experience. And Paws Up by far is naturally designed with that in mind, which I think is fantastic. Let's go ahead and start the video, Rebecca.
I'll go to the presentation. Should I stop sharing the screen and then reshare, or do you think just go right into it?
You can go ahead and well, we can reshare it here.
Right here. Can you see my screen? All good?
We can.
Okay, wonderful. So the resort at Paws Up. Let's just start with the travel to the resort. Your guests would fly into Missoula Airport, which is a beautiful scenic 35-minute drive from the resort. So somebody will be there from our concierge team to pick them up with a sign ready to go at the airport saying your client's last name. They will pick them up and drive them straight to the resort, and that is complimentary included in the rate. So the resort at Paws Up is 37,000 acres. So it's basically like a private national park. It is so special and is so gorgeous in every single season. We have a herd of Black Angus cows on our property, as well as bison. So all of our accommodations are individual accommodations. So we don't have any one large structure hotel building that has 500 rooms in it. It's a very special, curated, homey experience. So I'm going to start with our luxury homes, and our big timber homes vary from 1 to 3 bedroom. So you can actually fit up to a family of 8 in one of our 3-bedroom big timber homes. And you can see it just totally has this Western interior design feel to it, with, you know, big ceilings, fireplaces, cozy furniture, king-size beds, beautiful windows and woodwork. The bathrooms are absolutely gorgeous with double vanity sinks in the masters and beautiful big windows right in front. So when you're brushing your teeth, you can just look out into the wilderness. The last time I was there on property, I swear I got out of the shower, put on my bathrobe, opened up the curtain, and I just saw a whole pack of horses just walking by, and it was absolutely gorgeous. So we also have our wilderness estates, and these are our largest accommodations. They are all 3-bedroom, and all of our homes also come with a hot tub, which is really nice, especially after a long day of activities with the kids, or, out at the dining restaurants and you just want some private time, it's nice to come home to that. And then in some of the big timber homes and wilderness estates, we also have the glamping tents. So these are available only really during the summer season in the yard, but it's a really great change of scenery. So let's say you have a family of 5 staying in a wilderness estate, and the kids are like, oh, I want to go and stay at a tent. They can sleep in the tent for a night and just make it like a really fun, different experience that really switches things up and makes it exciting for everybody. So here's a nice interior shot of the wilderness estate. Like I said, really large ceilings, big fireplaces, stone fireplaces, and beautiful interior design furniture. Here's the master bedroom. Another beautiful bathroom shot. And that is not photoshopped. It really looks like that when you're viewing from outside of the window.
It's so gorgeous. And it looks so cozy. It just brings the family together when you're able to just naturally have this environment that's so calming, and to be able to look out the windows and just see trees galore.
Absolutely. So in these homes, they have 2 master king-size beds, and then also a elevated room, the 3rd bedroom, with 2 full-size beds. So this, again, is really great for kids. They can have their own little area up here and then go downstairs to meet up with, the parents within the kitchen and in the living room. But it's nice to have that separation and make it really feel like a home, like it's a real house. And then, of course, we have our luxury camping. So this is a whole other section of the resort that is really special. We have 6 campsites, and each of the campsites have 6 tents. So a total of 36 tents, and they're all unique and special in their own way. This one here is one of my absolute favorites. This one is called Cliffside, as you can tell, obviously right along the water of the Blackfoot River. And, you just wake up, you unzip your tent, safari-style tents, go outside, sit down on the Adirondack chair, enjoy a cup of coffee in the morning. It is so, so peaceful and relaxing, and just a special, very unique experience.
Rebecca, how it looks like you have like 5 or 6 tents in like a cluster. So I'm assuming you do a lot of small group buyouts for those areas.
Great point. Yes, we definitely can do buyouts. We can do campsite buyouts for all 6 camps within that one campsite. So for example, going back to this, you could have, let's say you're booking like a company retreat or something like that. They could all reserve these tents, and they would have the camp completely to themselves, which is really, really nice. And not only would they have the camp, the sleeping tents to themselves, but also the dining pavilion. So they would have, if they did a buyout, this whole dining pavilion to themselves. And every campsite comes with 2 butlers and a chef as well. So let's say after a long day of activities, you come back and you want to just lounge at the tents or have a margarita. You just call the butler over, you say you want a margarita, and he'll bring it to your tent. It's very, very catered and luxurious. It's not anything shabby by any means. It's a very glamping experience.
It sounds so fantastic. It reminds me of sort of the benefits of being on a yacht, but instead of being at sea, you're in and near national parks. And how fantastic. And to be able to buy this out, to create the flexibility to utilize the space as you wish. I mean, it could be converted into more of a meeting space for corporate travel as needed, or you can host family gatherings and reconfigure the setting. I think it's so fantastic. And remind me, what is the season for the campsites?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
What is the seasonality for the campsite since it's not open year round?
Yep. So it honestly, sometimes it does depend a little bit on the year, but we open up the campsites in May, mid-May, and then we close them up in October. And some of our campsites, the season is a little bit longer for some of them because they are slightly newer tents with modified heat and air conditioning. So some of the tents do go into the later seasons a little bit more, but it is typically more of just like a summer thing. So June, July, August, they are rocking and rolling and busy, and just probably the best place to be on the river.
I love that. And the fact that you can have a tent that has heating and cooling, it doesn't get much more luxurious than that.
I know. And they all have their own bathrooms as well. I'll get to some pictures of that in a moment. Sorry, there's a bug. Okay, so here we have the porch where they can just lay out. I mean, I could just sit there all day, with a glass of wine, and just watch the river go by. It is so beautiful and colorful. It is absolutely breathtaking. And here you could have, if you did like a family buyout for a multi-generational family that takes over the campsite, you could all sit around together, the fire, and roast marshmallows, tell stories. It's a very fun, intimate, great family bonding experience. And here we have what's called our honeymoon tent. So this one has the deep soaking copper tub. And this is a perfect example of a 1-bedroom tent. So perfect for one couple. And then you have also our 2-bedroom tents. So this is perfect for, let's say, a family of 4. You have the parents sleeping in the master, and then the 2 twin beds for the children. And like I said, the bathrooms are connected to the rooms. So it's very, very up to date. You have double vanity sinks, fully functioning water closet, shower, heated towel racks, tile floors. It's very, very nice. And then what do you do when you're on property? We have all of our wilderness adventures. So like you saw in those videos, the activities list just doesn't end. It is so, so robust, and there's so much to do in every season. One of our biggest things to do is the fly fishing. So that's really fun throughout the seasons. We also have our equestrian experiences. Our director of equestrian experiences actually recently rescued 5 Mustangs and is in this picture here actually training them and doing a horse whispering lesson to all of the women that are attending the class. And like I said, the list doesn't end. We have canoeing, we have shooting, we have hot air balloons, ATVing. I highly suggest doing the ATVs for your clients. That is like one of the best ways to actually see the property and see the 37,000 acres of land that we have. And you can go off-roading and go to the areas of the resort that you can't access by car.
There really are a lot of activities to choose from. So it is important to really identify how much time a traveler has to visit Paws Up and to really create the itinerary that really complements their stay. So the longer your stay, certainly you have a greater opportunity to experience more of the activities. If it's a shorter visit, you really have to focus on determining which activities you prefer to prioritize for that particular trip. So many activities to choose from, all will be enjoyed, but it is, part of the experience and curating a vacation experience to Paws Up is choosing the activities, which is done in advance.
Activities 30 days prior to arrival date. And I highly suggest that they do, the stuff that really feels ranchy, like the equestrian experiences, the shooting. That is going to make them feel like a cowgirl or a cowboy and really take in the Montana and the Western style. And we also have our ropes courses and the go-karts, which is so fun and great for the really little ones that are staying with the family. They can do the go-karts. It's so fun. The list just doesn't end. We have our island lodge experience. So that's where all of the water experiences happen. So that would be like tubing, jet skiing, and this is completely privatized. And it's super special because this lake is owned by, it's called Salmon Lake, but we actually own this island lodge. And eventually we're actually going to gut the interior and turn it into a real lodge as another section of the resort, which is very exciting. So more news on that to come. But again, here, like, let's say, for example, you have a family that would like to do the island lodge experience. They can rent it out for a couple hours of the day. and then have access to the jet skis, the pontoon boat, the water skiing, tubing, all those really fun water activities.
Rebecca, we just had someone comment on the activities and how soon you should book in advance. And you did touch on it's highly recommended that we book 30 days in advance. But could you elaborate on which activities need to be booked in advance versus those activities that are available on a, as you wish basis? Because I think sometimes you don't want to over plan a vacation. You want the flexibility to say, you know what, I don't know if we want to jet ski. That's something I want to decide when I arrive. So could you kind of emphasize which activities need to be booked in advance versus those that can be determined during your stay?
A lot of that depends on the season that they're coming. So if they're coming in the summertime, it really does need to be planned that far in advance, just because we're already sold out for this summer. So all of these activities are already being booked. And our concierge team is, they're so experienced. They know exactly what they're doing in terms of how many activities you want to do a day, at what time, all of those things. So they know what they're doing. They're going to guide your clients as best as possible to book exactly what they want to do. And typically we say about 2 activities per day is pretty normal, because you have your breakfast, and you have a 2.5 hour long activity. Then you have your lunch. Then you have another 2.5 hour long activity, and your day is completely full. So there's so much to do, and you're never going to get bored while you're on property. But, there are things like hiking or mountain biking, or if you just want to take a rod out and go fly fishing on your own, or the go-karts, things like that. Like, that could be a little bit more last minute, but I highly suggest booking things in advance. So again, that is extremely important for the summer season. Once you get a little bit more into like later fall, October, or like April, May, those times of the year, there's a little bit more flexibility in terms of, you wake up in the morning and you say, I'm actually really feeling fly fishing today. Let me call up concierge and see if we can schedule a trip. So that's a little bit more possible during those seasons. But during the summer, everybody is pretty tightly scheduled. So I just want to be completely transparent about that.
And we have several families that will be visiting Paws Up this summer, but we also had a lot of families very, very interested, but they didn't have a lot of flexibility with their dates. And in most cases, a large percent of our travelers were not able to make it to Paws Up this summer because their dates weren't available. So really, to those watching, I think it's really important for an adventurous activity that's as private as Paws Up. This is something that you need to plan at least 9 months in advance to really secure your dates, and the activities, can come at a later date. But again, you do want to plan those activities earlier. And, to me, planning those activities in advance and talking to the other travelers about what's of interest, and having the flexibility for people to also choose different activities is part of the fun that happens before you arrive at Paws Up.
It is part of the fun, just like you said. And booking your activities 30 days in advance is the perfect amount of time. Our concierge team will figure everything out. But like you said, booking the actual accommodations far in advance will make your experience just so much less stressful, especially as a travel advisor. I really encourage you to tell your clients, it's great to let them know about these opportunities and this experience further in advance. So if they're looking to come for summer 2022, they won't have a problem booking right now, and they'll be able to get a spot.
And the different room categories is another factor. You want to be able to secure the room configuration that is best for your travelers. If you're looking for a 2-bedroom configuration that accommodates kids quite nicely, obviously those sell out rather quickly. And also just being able to look at the opportunity if you're bringing families together to be able to do a complete buyout of a campsite. Those opportunities are more available when you book early versus waiting. Even by spring, those tend to be sold out.
Absolutely. All right. So should we move into winter a little bit?
I love it. Let's do it.
So, like I said, the list doesn't end. During the winter season, we have so much going on, so many activities to do. So for example, instead of the ATVing, you're going to do the snowmobiling. Instead of the biking, you can do dog sledding or skijoring. Skijoring is one of the coolest looking things I've ever seen. I'm so excited to try it. And it's when you're holding onto a rope as the horse is galloping and you're skiing or snowboarding behind it. So that looks like a lot of fun. Like I said, we have the dog sledding opportunities, curling opportunities, winter mountain biking opportunities. So there's so much to do in the winter season. And this here, I have this shot here because I think it's a really great way to see what I like to think of as the hub of the resort. So this is what's called the main village. So our reception desk is here. Our 3 restaurants are here as well. So this is kind of like, you know, the center point of the resort. And then just up the street is what's called the Wilderness Outpost. And that is where we have all of our retail, amazing cowboy hats, fun belts, things like that, lots of clothing, artwork, all the Western style things that I'm sure your clients will go crazy for. And that's also where your clients will go before each activity. So that's like the meeting spot. And then our guides will take them all around the resort to their activities, whether it's fly fishing, equestrian experiences, shooting, wherever it may be amongst the 37,000 acres. So like I said, these are where the restaurants are. So we have some incredible food. This is Pomp, our fine dining restaurant. So any guest staying at the resort can dine here. So people staying in, like back in the presentation of the Big Timber Homes, they will make a reservation here. Or even staying at the glamping tents. If they decide to not dine in the dining pavilion that night, they're more than welcome to make a reservation at Pomp. And then we can have one of our staff members go and pick them up at any time and bring them over to the restaurant as well. So I like to think of Pomp as like a glorified steakhouse. The food is just, it's absolutely off the charts. It's amazing. Nobody ever complains about the food because it's just so, so good and so catered to everybody. We can take on any different dietary restriction that your clients might have. And then we have like this beautiful fireplace and gorgeous, lush interior design furnishings. It's really, really beautiful. And then we have Trough. And Trough is our fast casual, but still absolutely delicious restaurant. Again, the interior design goes off of that safari style tent, which I love. And we have the canvas along the walls. So this is where your clients will come in between activities. They can come here for breakfast or for lunch after their first activity. And then we have Tank, which is our bar. Please do not look at the furniture in this picture. This is outdated furniture and we have new photography coming for this bar. And there's all new stuff in here. There's beautiful, luscious couches, a big life-size chess set that's really cool. But just so you get an idea of what the room looks like, we do still have this gorgeous wood-burning fireplace, and you can just hang out here and have a glass of wine, or you can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner in here as well. So it's really open at any time for your clients. And we have these beautiful surrounding windows so they can look out and see the porch and the vastness of the meadows during all the seasons as well. And then we have our amazing outdoor dining experiences. So if you have a group booked, we can do long table dining outside. And then we also have our truck wagon experience, which is really great. A lot of our glamping guests will take advantage of this experience. It's really cool outdoor dining, live fire cooking, almost like a picnic style.
As far as choosing your restaurants, Rebecca, maybe share with us how soon in advance you should plan your dining experiences as well.
Also, excuse me, I have horrible allergies today, so please excuse me. But going back to your question. So when concierge reaches out to your clients to book their activities, they will also be booking their restaurant reservations. So depending on when they have the activities, that's when they will make their reservations for the meals, which is, it's so nice to have all of that planned in advance. So nothing is, oh, did we get a reservation this night, or like any of that stuff. It's always going to be nicely planned and you have a full itinerary. So that, again, will be that 30 days prior to booking. They will plan the activities and the restaurant reservations.
And there's so many options to choose from. I mean, I personally just gravitated naturally to being more outdoors and the wagon wheel experience. And but again, there's so many options to choose from that you certainly won't get bored by the food, and you'll certainly be impressed by the quality of the cuisine.
Absolutely. And we also have, Thanksgiving and Christmas meals. This here is obviously a Thanksgiving beautiful, beautiful meal here. And we also do Christmas. So we will put a beautiful Christmas tree decorations up in all of the homes, make it really cozy. We can do Santa sleigh rides. So this is like a little kid's Christmas fantasy dream come true. So if you have any clients that are interested in traveling for the holidays, I think Paws Up would be the perfect choice.
It's such a great location. And being based in Phoenix, Arizona, we have so many clients whose children, they don't get to see the snow throughout the winter season. So a getaway like this is just so fantastic. And you could easily convince any child, maybe even under the age of 8, but certainly under the age of 5, that this is the North Pole. It's just so beautiful.
I love that. How cute. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the Greeno. Is that okay if I shift gears a little to the adult-only experience?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So like I said, we have 4 different styles of houses, and they're all unique and extremely contemporary and modern, and have this very sexy, chic feel to them that is so different from Paws Up. Paws Up, it has that super cozy, clunkier furniture, Western style, and that is so beautiful in its own way. But this is so different. So here we have the roundhouse, which has a nice mid-century modern feel to it with the natural curvatures of the wood, the sunken living room, and all of the accommodations are 1 bedroom, king size. They all have indoor and outdoor fireplaces. They also all have hot tubs. You can see on the lower right-hand corner here that they all have a hot tub. This is my personal favorite style of house, the tree house, and they're on 15-foot stilts elevated up in the air. So at the very top floor, you are 30 feet up in the air, which is really, really spectacular. Great for sightseeing, and you are parallel with the trees. So when you see a bird flying by, it is at eye level, and it is so cool. And you can see little critters, running around in the forest, and it just feels so unplugged. You're just totally removed. Of course, there's Wi-Fi, you got to have that, but it just feels like you're really one with nature, and we're bringing the outside in, which is really the objective of this property. So here's a nice interior shot of the tree house, again, with the interior fireplace, which is really nice. And this one has a spiral staircase. So this would be really great for like a little bit more of a millennial couple. I would not suggest the spiral staircase for a elderly couple, of course, but if they, there's a fit for everybody. So like the roundhouse would be perfect for a couple that is, 70 plus or something like that. But again, all the interior design, it's minimalist, it's beautiful, it's sleek, and, great for a more modern clientele. Here we have the greenhouse, and here we have the greenery on top of the roof, which is really, really beautiful. The big wraparound deck, outdoor hot tub, and these swings, which are really, really fun. And then the bedroom here is super cool because it's a king size bed, but also a king size skylight. So when you're going to sleep, you can look up at the big Montana sky, see the constellations, the moon, the stars. Then when you're ready for bed, you just press a button and all the blackout shades come down. And all of the accommodations also have double vanity sinks, a deep soaking tub and a shower, and an eco kitchenette as well. And this is the last style, the last of the 4 styles, the lighthouse. And there's actually only one of the lighthouses. And this is the very first accommodation that is on the property. And we really envision having our guests spend time outside in this accommodation just because the deck is so expansive, and you have the hot tub, the swings, and you can just really look out and enjoy the scenery amongst you. And this here is a beautiful interior shot, really showing that floor to ceiling window experience straight from the bedroom. So it's so magical. You just look outside and you're just in an absolute winter wonderland.
It's so fantastic. And I think it provides a setting that naturally allows for just relaxation and the ability to just really unwind. And I think it's great for anniversary celebrations. I mean, this is a big spend. This is a bucket list experience for a lot of people. So perfect for anniversaries, someone who's looking for a unique honeymoon type experience. And also, looking at these two properties, what I also like is that you could travel with multi-gen, and those that don't have kids can stay in the Greeno section, where those with kids can stay at the Paws Up section, and you can still mingle, but those that want to be able to kind of break away from the kids and all the activities can retreat and have their accommodations at the Greeno.
A couple's getaway for New Year's or something like that. This would be like the perfect experience for that. And we could also do 2-in-1 stays. So we've actually booked a few of those this summer, where we have clients first staying at Paws Up in the glamping tents, and then they're moving over to the Greeno for the last couple of nights of their stay. So you're really getting the best of both worlds. And to me, that sounds like the dream vacation.
Wow, that is a great idea. And Rebecca, we haven't really touched on the fact that this is an all-inclusive property as it relates to accommodations and food. So maybe talk briefly about what's included and what's a la carte.
Is the accommodation, of course, a food and beverage plan, all of the taxes, resort fees, gratuities, and the airport transfers. So the pickup from the airport and drive back as well. That is all included in the rate. And so basically, once you've booked, the only thing that is left that's a la carte is the activities. So those are not included in the rate, but we do have self-guided activities that are complimentary. So of course, like if they just want to go hiking or mountain biking, that's free. And they can do that on their own time. But anything that comes with a guide and is a guided activity, that is a la carte. So that would be, for example, our horseback riding, fly fishing, things like that.
We do have another question, and it's, what are some of the things unique that Greeno offers during the winter months for couples when it comes to activities?
Absolutely. So the best thing about the Greeno is that it's its own section of the resort. It's totally privatized. So nobody who's staying at Paws Up can access the Greeno or the dining pavilion at the Greeno. It's totally its own experience. But staying at the Greeno, you have access to everything at Paws Up. So you're really the lucky one staying at the property, because you can dine at the social house, which is the dining pavilion for the Greeno, but also dine at Pomp, which is the restaurant at the main village that I showed you, or Trough or Tank, or experience all of the activities that they want that are available at Paws Up. So, for example, a guest staying in the treehouse or in the lighthouse could go to Paws Up and do the snowmobiling, the dog sledding, the curling, all of those things. They have access to every type of activity that Paws Up has to offer. So you're really getting a curated experience in your home throughout every season, like the winter time. And our chef will actually reach out in advance and ask, what is a recipe that reminds you of your childhood, and how can I bring that into your cuisine that you're going to have? So staying at the Greeno is just, I wouldn't necessarily say just because it's winter, just because it's fall, it's any more special. It's just always going to be a elevated, very, very luxurious experience for couples. I hope that answers your question. So they have access to everything available at Paws Up, all of those activities in the winter.
Yeah, and I think that's important to know, because somebody who's staying at the Greeno, or maybe they have friends and family at the Paws Up, it allows them to still access the Paws Up, but have the freedom to choose to spend private time at the Greeno without the hustle and bustle that sometimes comes with spending too much time with your family. I come from a big family. I have 5 brothers and sisters. So as much as we enjoy being together, this would be, very appealing to be able to say, okay, I'm staying at the Greeno. We'll see you tomorrow, for those that aren't traveling with children, small children.
Also, it's one staying at the Greeno, just the dining experience is really special. And I have pictures of the social house that I can send to you guys as well. We just got some new photography that came in, so we're really excited about that. But, just like the level of the wine, the connoisseurs that are going to be at the Greeno, it's all ingredient based dining cuisine. Like our chef Brandon Cunningham he'll go out into the woods and forage some stones or twigs and use that as a method of presenting his food. He's very eclectic and creative with the way that he's presenting it, but it's also incredibly ingredient based. So the food is it's really off the charts at the Greeno. And then also our wellness program. So we have the ability to, again, they can go to Paws Up and go to Spa Town to get their treatment there. Or we have in every single accommodation at the Greeno a massage bed. So the massage bed would just fold down, and then they can get their treatment in the house as well. So like I said, this is the social house. So this is the dining pavilion exclusive to Greeno guests. So maximum capacity in here is going to be 24 guests. And it's going to be extremely catered to their preferences, their dietary restrictions, and the walls of the social house open up. So in the warmer seasons, you're really, really taking in the surroundings of the nature and the timberlands and really letting the outside in, which is really spectacular. And we have a big fireplace on the interior as well, big banquettes for comfortable seating, and then in that bar, the back bar, with very fine spirits and wines as well.
Can I also ask, Rebecca, are you able to have a dining experience in your, not so much a room service, but more or less private dining set up at your accommodations, whether indoor or outdoor? Is that something that can be arranged?
Each of the houses are maybe less than a 1-minute walk to the social house. We are doing room service for all of the houses, but we can't really do like full-on prepared meals in the house just because there's only a kitchenette in there. So there's not very much that we can work with in terms of having a private chef come in and set something up for them. But the Greeno is already so exclusive and intimate. I don't think that clients are really going to want to be even more removed and, set up a whole experience in their house. But if they would like to order room service, they're more than welcome to do that. And I encourage them to do that. And we can bring it straight from the social house up to their individual homes. But we can't do a full prepared meal in the house.
So you could have your meals delivered, but you wouldn't necessarily have the butler or a wait staff there for you. I think that would be plenty. If somebody's looking to have a meal in-house or outside their cabin, I think just having that delivered would be fantastic.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. And we can certainly do that. And we can also, the food at the Greeno is it's very, very high end and beautiful, and it's great for foodies. But if they're like, I just really want a cheeseburger, then they can order a cheeseburger from Paws Up and have it delivered to their treehouse. So they can, have access to all of those things at Paws Up as well. So here's our Chef Brandon Cunningham at the Greeno, and he, to me, really fits the part. He is a wilderness guy and does all of his cooking on live fire. So it all has that really rich smokiness to it. Those potatoes just look absolutely incredible. His presentation of food is just off the charts. And that is all that I have for you guys. Do you guys have any questions, or is there anything else I can help with at the moment?
We answered quite a few of the questions. We got quite a few comments. We did talk about cooking booking dining and activities early. That was the question that was asked. And obviously we got a lot of positive feedback. So exciting. This is gorgeous. One of our favorite properties. Looks amazing. Bucket list item for families. So lots of favorable comments here. And I also think that it's really important to emphasize this really new belief that you can experience something like a safari here in our own country, that you don't necessarily have to get on a plane and travel internationally to experience a truly authentic and relaxing vacation, that here in our own country, here in the US, there's luxurious remote properties, and just based on the expansion at Paws Up, it's just very forward thinking to recognize that there's going to be more increased travel and greater demands for both luxury travel as well as remote travel here in the US. So I really look forward to seeing further growth and development in this space. So thank you so much, Rebecca, for joining us. We really appreciate it. And we know that if we ever have questions that you're available to us. And for those of you that are interested in Paws Up, please reach out to your travel advisor at Boutique Travel Advisors. It's a really unique experience. It's so highly curated. The various activities, we can help you discern what's available, and based on the number of travel days, really what should be put into your itinerary, how to arrange for your dinner reservations. And it helps to have someone else advocating for you, making sure that your dietary restrictions are met. If you have, any health issues or mobility issues, we looked at the different properties at Greeno, and some obviously require a little more mobility than others. And it's really important to, plan your reservations with those things in mind so that you're not disappointed. I mean, you can do a fantastic vacation, and sometimes it's a challenge when you arrive and you realize maybe you booked the wrong type of configuration, not knowing. So we're here to really help you. This is a big vacation. It's a bucket list vacation to really make the choices that are best for you and your family and other travelers.
Absolutely. And that is so true. And I highly encourage, our best experiences on the resort are those booked by travel agents. And I say that because the travel agents know the property, and it's a much more educated experience for guests instead of them booking it on their own. We have these long conversations with travel agents. Many even come to the resort and see it for themselves. So nobody knows the property better than, of course, the salespeople and the travel agents. So, and they also get special amenities. So I know that you guys are a member of Signature, so you guys would also get an activity credit, a welcome bottle of wine, things like that just, make it a little bit more special. But thank you so much, everybody. This was such a wonderful experience, and I'm so glad that I got to present Paws Up and the Greeno to you all.
Thank you so much. We'll talk soon, Rebecca. Thanks for joining us.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.